And we continue with Dirshu Mishnah Berurah, we're middle of Siman Sadi Hilchais Tefillah. We ended off with a very famous sif, learning about the chiyuv of Tefillah B'tzibur Sif Tes. And we actually left it off in the middle. We were halfway through Sif Tes, which the Mechaber taught us, Yishtadel Adam Le'isbal Beis HaKnesset Matzibur. You should be Yishtadel. And we learned from here that the Mishnah Berurah learns there's an obligation to daven with a minyan, but as we'll see, if it's impossible, there's no minyan in the vicinity, it's okay. And we pointed out that Ramosha Feinstein learns that Yishtadel means you have to go beyond. You can't even put yourself in that situation where there won't be a minyan, and we'll learn about that more further. And we continue in Siftas, which the Mechaber says, let's say you're an Einis, you're not able to come into shul. Says the Mechaber, what should he do? You should at least daven at the same time that the tzibur is davening. Vihu, and what is that? As we turn over to the next page over here, which the Ramah continues, Vihu adin, and the same thing is true. B'nei adam adarim b'yishuvim ve'in la minyan. Someone lives in a place that there's no minyan. So we should daven mikol makam yispalu shachris va'arvis bizman shasibur mispalim. Daven at the time that the tzibur is davening. V'chein, and similarly yimnenas lo yispalu b'shas tzibur yispalu at tzibur bu mispalu b'yachid avol pikein yispalu beis HaKnesset. Says the Mechaber, the next level. Let's say you didn't daven at the time that tzibur was davening. There's still a maila, and you're davening now b'yechidus. There's still a maila to daven in the shul. So we continue over here with the Mishnah Berurah Sifkatan Chav Tes. Just want to highlight one line that we learned last time, such an important line that the Mishnah Berurah here quoted at Chuvas Radvaz, that let's say someone is given one day to daven. What should he do? Should he wait to Rosh Hashanah? Should he wait for Yom Kippur? What's the day that he should daven? And the Mishnah Berurah taught us, no, the day that he should daven is the first available day. That any day that one is able to daven, that is the most important day to daven. And with that, we continue. I'm a little bit of issue with the highlighting over here, but either way, we continue with Sifkatan, Chaf Tes, in which the Mishnah Berurah continues. Let's say you're an Einis. Hainu, what does that mean? Shetash Koychai, one is weak. Avsheina Chayla. So he's making an interesting level over here. You're not a Chayla, but you're very weak. V'moinis Mamoin. Let's say one can afford it. Let's say if he davens the minyan, he's not able to make up our nasa. He can daven be yechidus with basic nesbol tzibur, as we said already, or daven in the shul without the minyan. Someone just going to make a profit. One should not refrain from davening the minyan. This is a very important line. We find this in many areas of halacha. There's a difference between not making a profit and you're going to lose money. You're not going to make it. Hamburg. Basic Knesset Meuta Betals Tefillin Kedarka came to shul. Tells the Tefillin Pagaboy Adam Echad Shayla Limkar Avonim Tayvais, and he met a man that has diamonds to sell. V'ratza, and he wanted Sheyelech Imayla Beisai, and he wanted this Ramirlash, the Avbezdin of Hamburg. He wanted him to come to his house to purchase the diamonds. V'Hagoyin, and this guy responded, he says, it sounds like a wonderful business proposition, but I have to go daven. He made tons and tons of money. And the guy had an incredible joy. Why? That he spent so much money on what? He had the incredible opportunity to spend money on a minyan. Quoting the Magen Yibarim, V'chein kasav b'sefer Eli Rabbi Shem Tshuvas Beis Yaakov D'yishliknos Anashim Shamayim Leilach Beis HaKnesses. We should find people. Sounds like a yeshiva almost. We should find people for not coming to shul mishum she'iskim b'Torah, oy mishum she'mistakar mamayin, u'lashirim yishlik yaser. We should find people with money even more. Or ba'al Torah av she'asik b'lima. Let's say someone's learning mikol makam chashad v'chol Hashem. For shekasav v'sif yiches. The incredible importance always daven with a minion. So, but if you can't, what do? Yechavin le'isbal at the same time. The tzibur is davening sifkat alamed v'davka imtir chola milsa lesa v'asar tzabasel to get on the minion. Mashma. De'im isbal musaf b'shash tzibur salam shachris. An important line. He quotes the Mishnah Berurah. Let's say someone davens musaf when the tzibur is davening shachris. Loi mikri b'shash tzibur salam. But isbal imam basic ineses mikri tfilas b'tzibur. So we're finding an interesting level over here. Even though the Mechaber just taught us that you should daven at the same time that the tzibur is davening, and at some level that has a din of tefillah b'tzibur, but still says the Mishnah Berurah, that level doesn't go so far that if you're davening at the same time, they're davening a different tefillah, that it helps. It's only if you're davening the same tefillah. But if you're at least in the shul when they're davening something else, another incredible line. So in Mrs. Shachris, but now you could at some level get tefillah b'tzibur if you get when the tzibur is davening musaf. Yispalu Shachris, if got the lamed aleph. Mosakai tzibur ma'achram tefillah Shachris. Let's say they daven late. V'adar b'yishav also le'afilu l'omayt. You're not allowed to learn before davening. I missed this man. You can do nothing for a long time. What should you do? Another incredible yesod. Anytime you don't have a minion, what do you do? Davin behaneitzachama, even biyechidus mikol shekin kayayim. Certainly nowadays, as Mishnah Berurah tekilas kidos mispalim, take of mishir abayke daven right away. Kinailamu b'shash etzim mispalim. It's always a time that there are people davening. So says the Mishnah Berurah, if you're ever going to have an issue with a minion, you daven neitzachama. Continue sifkat lamed beis bisman shat tzibur davening pirish b'shash kilas Yisrael mispalim. Let's say you live in a village, then you should not daven early. If you're not davening with a minion, wait for Tzitz Chavim. See the power of a shul. It's a place that is kavua, is set for kedusha, for holiness, tefillah, for prayers, and therefore, even when you're davening biyechidus, if you're in the shul, your tefillah has more potency. Whatever its reason, it was impossible to make the minyan, and you're going to show up, and it's a bi'achil Hashem that you're showing up and davening by yourself. Yispalel bebeisai, such a person should daven in his house. We're going to stop over here. We'll pick it up from Sif Yod in the next year. B'siyata Dishmayo.